This week we're going to learn about 3D shapes. What is a 3D shape? Well, a 3D shape is a solid figure. It is the world we live in. So since we know what 3D shapes are, we're going to learn about 3D geometry. It is called three-dimensional. It's also called 3D because there are 3 dimensions. So as we look at this cube, we will see the 3 dimensions. We have width, then we have depth, and then we have height. So we see that there's 3 dimensions to this shape. So we call this 3D geometry. We're going to learn about nets, finding the surface area, and find the volume of these 3 shapes. So here are some different types of 3D figures. Here's a view of them. And then we are going to be learning how to find the volume of these, the surface area of these, this week and next week. But let's just go over the names of these shapes. We have a 3D square pyramid. We have a 3D cube, 3D rectangular prism, a 3D cone, 3D triangular prism, 3D cylinder. We have a 3D sphere, which is the 3D shape of a circle. Now that we've seen some of these shapes, we're going to go over some of the names of the parts of these shapes before we get into the nets. Now your next video will cover nets, but this one we're just going to cover the names of these shapes. We have faces. What is the face of a geometry figure? Well, any of the individual surfaces of a solid object are called faces. This is an example of a triangular pyramid. It has 4 faces, but you only see 3. Sometimes you won't see the other part of the 3D figure. You just have to know that it's there. Well, you know that this shape's got a flat side on the other side. So it has to be a shape of a face. So this is what we call the face. Here is the face of a pentagon. Just to let you see, it's not in a 3D shape, but this is what the face of a pentagon would be called. And it's a pentagon because it has 5 sides. Now let's go on to another name. Now we have vertices. What is a vertice? Well, every shape that's 3D, except for your cylinder and your sphere, has a vertex. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertex. Well, actually, we would call that, if there's more than one, you call it vertices. So this one actually has 4 vertices. We wouldn't call 4 vertex. We would call it 4 vertices. You'd only say vertex when you're talking about just one individual one. Well, a vertex is a point where 2 or more straight lines meet. It is a corner. The triangular prism here has 4 vertices. We see we have 4 corners. Now, as we talked about earlier in the past slide, there's a face on the other side of this triangular pyramid. Well, it does not have a vertex and it doesn't have any other part because it's just a flat surface on that side. And so, therefore, there's only a face over there. So it only has 4 vertices. Now, if we look at our pentagon, which is more of your 2D shape, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. Let's go on to edges. This is the last part of the 3D shape we will go over. What are the edges of a 3D geometry figure? Well, an edge is a line segment that joins the 2 vertices. Remember the earlier slide, we talked about how a vertice or a vertex is one line that joins vertices. Well, that one line that joins the vertices is what we call the edge. And this one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges. Now remember, the other side's just a flat surface, so it only has a face. There's not an edge on the other side. Then we have our pentagon. It has 5 edges because it has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this will conclude what we are going to be going over to name the different parts of a 3D figure. The next video you will need either your spiral or your notebook that you take notes in. You will also need the geometry doodle that you've been taking notes on in the videos before the Thanksgiving holiday. And we will be giving you some nets in class that you'll be cutting out and gluing into your notebook or your spiral. So be prepared to bring that, to have that out for this next video. And this concludes this video.